On it. You know, the Aurelia there as well, but I think that they almost have been able to not cross that one off the list.
You know, I think you still have to give the respect over to Nisqy. He didn't have a great game, but that does not mean that he is not capable of having those incredible games that we have seen him have in the past on the champion. And we know how Qiyana from ahead can look like a completely different beast.
Cloud9 will go ahead. They'll ban out 2 Doublelift picks. They're going to keep the Sona Taric away as they have done the entire series, as well as getting rid of Caitlyn. They don't want any of that crazy lane domination coming out from Double and Core.
Yeah, the Caitlyn ban is a little bit interesting to me because it has not really been prioritized whatsoever, you know, and even when it's up, it's not getting picked, but perhaps just worried about that blue side, you know, not for the first pick, but in that first round, grabbing Caitlyn Morgana or something along those lines. And, you know, Cloud9 likely going back to the Xayah pick as they did last time.
Gotta ban Akali here. The Sylas is already banned out. There's no answer for Cloud9 back on the other side. If Team Liquid spend their last ban on the Sylas and Cloud9 opt to still let through the Akali, what is going to be their new answer? Because this champion does not have hard counters in the lane. You can have these tethers, you see her, you know, during the Shroud, but none of them has the oppressive lane phase you're looking for.
Yeah, you know, if it went to top, you know, Clyde can actually be a great answer, but they're trying to set up for the Xayah once more. Interested to see if TL will go back to the prior draft where they actually took the Rakan and the Xayah. That was their answer last time around.
There you go.
So same as last time, they're going to be grabbing this up. And this is feeling very, very similar to what we went through last time, with the exception of that mid lane answer that you have called out, Kobe.
And it's signaling a very similar game plan here for both teams. I think we can expect a similar pace here with Alistar now locked in for Cloud9 as well. Big change though, of course, the Aatrox in Licorice's hands here. See what they can do with it. There have been so many games for Cloud9, even down in gold, where he's able to find a flank for them and win the team fights.
And no Gragas, right? You know, letting the Gragas go through the first round completely.
And I mean, remember, when we saw this setup before, with the Akali, with the Xayah, with the Rakan, the first time that we got to see the Alistar played by Zeyzal, it was Cloud9 that won that game. It was Cloud9 who was able to navigate this draft and find the ways to deal with these picks to shut down that Akali that Jensen can pop off with. So I want to see, now that the Sylas is removed, how else do you manage to contain it? What else will Nisqy play as Cloud9 will deny Xmithie the Skarner?
I would be really interested to see, you know, if they're willing to go back to something like the Taliyah, focus really heavily on the roam, you know, try to less have that 1v1 fight, more push, avoid the matchup, get out of there and join up with your jungler and try to affect these side lanes where you have the Alistar who can set up for some of these 4-man plays on bot side, and that's been something that C9 has been great with.
Similarly for Cloud9, they're whittling down on the frontline possibilities for Team Liquid. They know they want to attack Xmithie's champion pool here, not only taking out these junglers, but taking out the possibilities of things that can withstand that Alistar engage, that can withstand the Bash Bros type of style where Aatrox plus Alistar plus whatever they put Svenskeren on will charge through and try and force those fights.
And I'm really glad that they banned out the Sejuani. You say whatever they put Svenskeren on, well, Svenskeren was scary on Sejuani, the games he played it. He won't be on it here in the 5th game, but we could see the first J4 pick.
Yeah, first time this has actually come up whatsoever in this series, and a lot of jungle attention, you know, in the bans here. We could see something along the lines of potentially an Olaf. You know, that is kind of where we're at here for Team Liquid. If you want to go early game, you can look to the Lee Sin, which we have seen him play a lot in the past. Don't think we're getting Ivern, but
probably not.
Always is a slight possibility.
No.
Okay. This is actually the first time that we have seen Xmithie play this all season. So, you know, being pushed pretty heavily on that champion pool, but wants to be able to match the power of this J4. And they're going Shen. I actually love this as an answer. Dive buddies with both the Rakan, you know, as well as that Akali.
Exactly, because Team Liquid up until their 5th pick had indexed very lightly on defense. And that would be one of the weaknesses for them because they always rely on that. Now Impact from the top side, Shen, extremely strong matchup, I think now. Does have a lot more answers after the recent buffs.
Yeah, Shen actually quite a strong matchup, as you're saying, into Aatrox. And it does also force Cloud9's hand in that you need some AP. You can't go into a Shen with a full physical comp and expect to win. So we are going to get that Vladimir very heavily kind of geared towards the late game team fight. Vladimir is not that early roaming champion, 2v2 mid champion that we normally see Cloud9 go with. So this is a bit of a role reversal, and I think that Cloud9 is going to be more on the defensive in the early stages, where Team Liquid is going to have opportunities to make plays.
Especially since, one of the things about Shen, people really underestimate the offensive potential of this champion because they're so used to, just full tank old Shen, only coming in with defense. But taunts are easy to set up if you're against a melee champion, so they might have to chase that Aatrox around the map to look for that matchup and get a swap.
Yeah, this would actually be really nice for Cloud9 if they can have the Vladimir into the Shen. If you can force the MR when everyone else on your team is going to be dealing physical damage, you'll be feeling pretty good about that. Shen certainly, can be fine into the Vladimir early. Once Vladimir has a lot of CDR and levels, the matchup really can start to swing in that Vladimir's favor.
Yep.
And Team Liquid have been the ones a little bit more stubborn to choose into these lane swaps, right? We rarely see Impact goes towards the mid lane. So we think that he will probably stay up on top with the Shen, and it should be Cloud9 getting the matchup they want.
And in this game, I'm looking at the summoner spells and the runes as we're loading in. When we saw Vlad in this series previously, he was not running phase rush. This time around he is, and that makes him a massive team fight threat.
Yeah, it really does. Kind of the two options in a matchup like this are going to be Klepto or phase rush. Generally speaking, those are the two that you look for. When you're against both a Zeyzal as well as this Shen, I think that phase rush is a lot more intelligent, because one of the problems is you're going to be pushing up, and in the early levels your cooldowns are so long, so you can just get ran down by a Shen, as well as this early pressure that Xmithie is going to put out. So phase rush gives you an opportunity to try to proc that and maybe just get out of dodge.
Team Liquid and Cloud9, they've been battling back and forth for the past 4 hours or so for the title of best in North America, and it all comes down to one final game. Jensen back on the Akali, Nisqy on the Xayah with Zeyzal's Alistar that's done so much work so far here for Cloud9.
And something I've got to immediately point to, anytime you get into a pro game and it is Ocean first, you're going to see people spamming the Ocean spawning in the chat. And this is going to be a fight for this, because we talked about TL, perhaps their early pressure that they are going to have. If you can establish dominance on that bottom side, get an early 6 on Shen, you can try to take this Ocean, and it could be smooth sailing for the rest of the lane phase.
Especially when a champion like Shen has sort of been out of the meta for a while, and you're not accustomed to playing against it. Having to play around that entirely different element like the Stand United can really mess with your mental and your plans that you would otherwise have.
Plus, if you track the junglers, some ganks up to the top side early on for Xmithie go a super long way, because if Shen just holds on to the Stand United, it changes the jungle dynamic entirely. Yeah. Zeyzal is incredibly threatening when holding that cooldown. So if they don't have to use it to create a play, then it actually provides a lot of latent power.
Impact just trying to play the brushes here on the top side early on. Even though Vlad's not a super scary early laner, it's still ranged versus melee. Don't want to take any free damage. Yeah. You'll be passing through the mid lane here, trying to stay out of vision, make sure he stays away from those minions.
I mean, really, the most important thing is not actually getting hit by the empowered transfusions. So when you do have that charged up, it can be pretty devastating. But these early trades can go okay for Shen. But there you are seeing the utilization of the phase rush, right? That would have normally been a couple more quick autos with the Keyblade pull through. Instead, you get that move speed, you actually can't keep up.
Choosing your timing to try and get your grass procs off is also incredibly important here. Jensen now going to be able to gain momentum in mid lane, pushing up the minion wave, but it's just hard farming so far from the junglers.
Licorice taking some damage there from Impact, who manages to get on top of him here early on in this laning phase. Throw a couple of auto attacks into the Vampire.
And you can see the wave is actually pushing away from the Vladimir. So there is potential for jungle attention up on that top side. But for now, it is actually Xmithie heading towards mid lane, because Nisqy is very low under that turret. There is potential for a dive if they wanted to commit, but he's actually just running straight down to bot to grab that scuttle.
Yeah, kind of hovering behind Jensen in case there's a possibility of Svenskeren there. That would be so risky for Cloud9 to go for, and Xmithie should have control over both scuttles. Topside pings come out for a possible Svenskeren move on top.
I mean, you're talking about shadowing your mid laner in case the enemy jungler's there. That's how Team Liquid won the early game in game number 1. I would expect Cloud9 to not commit the same sins here in the 5th game. Learn from those mistakes. Svenskeren now taking that top side scuttler as Xmithie finishes up there on the bottom. He'll move into the enemy jungle, or move back into his own jungle, I should say, and pick up the Raptor camp.
Yeah, so no possible double scuttle for them there, but both junglers are farming pretty evenly in these early levels, and it feels like it is just going to be kind of like a full camp clear here for Xmithie, who is very healthy and can continue to stay out on the map. But clearly Cloud9 does not actually know where this jungler is. You see a lot of kind of question mark things around the brush on the bottom side. Nisqy and Zeyzal aren't sure, if Xmithie is laying in wait around there because they haven't had eyes on him actually for so long.
And when the previous games in this series have exploded around the bottom lane early on with both junglers trying to get involved and just having these 2v2s and 3v3s all over the place, you can understand that sort of paranoia of, wait, we haven't seen him in long enough. Where is he? Where is he?
Well, you can see it in the way they're playing these lanes right now. The only one pushed up is Licorice, who not only has the most vision of any of their lanes, but also has the pool, has the phase rush. And bottom lane's trying to push out. In order to do that, they have to call the jungler.
Ward though, Xmithie can come.
Oh, nice chain CC coming out from the side of Cloud9, but Xmithie makes his way into the fight. Nisqy's going to be knocked up into the air. A lot of damage coming down. Flash forward. Doublelift looking to find the kill. And first blood for DL.
C9 stepped too far, and Nisqy waits to flash there, going down to Doublelift, following. Heal flash is blown by both.
And it was all about that ward right there in the brush, spotting Svenskeren walking through for the lane gank. Cloud9 clearly did not actually track where that vision had been set, and now Xmithie can just chase him into the jungle, and this may give them priority perhaps around that Ocean Dragon.
I mean, the initial play was fine. It's the overchase from Cloud9 after CoreJJ escapes there that opens him up to the Xmithie charge right over the wall.
Now mid lane 2v2, Nisqy going into the World Ender. Xmithie with a flash away from the chains, being very respectful. He knows if those pull him back, he's dead.
Yeah, and Jensen's not 6, so that was pretty over-aggressive there from Xmithie, going forward. If the Akali's 6, great. Maybe you can just take the 2v2 with the early chunk on a Nisqy, but in this case, he hits 6 now and he's going in 1v2.
Svenskeren taken low, taken down. Jensen showing what he can do.
Junglers beware! Akali level 6 will get that kill. Impact actually stand united, but there's a teleport from Licorice to answer, so they call that play off. That's another cooldown though.
That is actually huge for TL, because now you have TP advantage. You send the Shen back up to the top side, you draw up one of those members, and then you set up for the Ocean Dragon, because neither of the solo laners have teleport on Cloud9, and you have double TPs here for TL, so Shen can just run straight top, and they can look to force that.
It's one of the most dangerous timings in the game. Level 4 junglers trying to help out level 6 mid laners. Let's take another look at the initiation onto CoreJJ then. And initially, this play is fine. They get CoreJJ low. After the heal though, you back off. You can't chase him any further, and they go up to the wall. Deep vision there, not available for Cloud9, so Xmithie gets the charge over the wall. Damage has already been done, allowing Doublelift to flash before the kill. And here is what I'm talking about. Level 4 junglers are just food for the level 6 assassin here. Jensen goes in, finishes it off, knows he's got enough there on the Akali. Now Nisqy might pay the price.
Wait a second, we are not done. Flash for flash there between solo laners. Impact trying to make the taunt flash happen, but Nisqy gets himself away.
Yeah, that was a great flash from Nisqy. As soon as he starts the taunt animation, you have to respect the flash that he can flash on you. You cannot react once it's already happened, so he trades the flashes there. But, during all these replays, you can see Impact actually uses teleport. So, I'm assuming he did TP back up to that top lane. And as a result, TL now don't just have that dominance around the dragon. And this all-important early game Ocean is still up for grabs.
Svenskeren barely getting away from the third hit of Xmithie with Hail of Blades Zhao. As soon as he jumps on you, you have to EQ away. Otherwise, you're getting knocked up.
Yeah, red buff as well as the level 6 advantage here for Xmithie means that there is no recourse for Cloud9. This is a Team Liquid Ocean Drake, the dream of solo laners everywhere.
Svenskeren looks at it and he decides, nope, it's in his best interest to walk away. Team Liquid with an Ocean and a 1,500 gold lead.
And that feels especially good for the Shen, because we're approaching the point in the game where Vladimir just constantly throwing out harassment. It becomes very difficult for Shen to deal with, but now being able to back up and that extra regeneration goes a long way.
Yeah, especially in combination with the Tiamat, right? You walk up to the wave, you tank a little bit of Vlad damage, you clear out the wave, then you step back and you just let that Ocean Dragon work its sweet, sweet magic. Right back to full.
Plus, I like the fact that building the Tiamat isn't just a index into Vlad while the rest of the team takes advantage of your itemization type of pick, like a Spectre's Cowl or something similar might be.
Titanic Hydra is actually one of the most important things for a Shen because it allows you later in the game to instantly shove waves. Some people will go the Bammy Cinder into trying to get Sunfire, but it's a lot slower. And the Titanic Hydra, I just feel like, is always such a better option for especially pro play.
Yeah, I really agree. You know, you want to be playing to threaten towers, to be threatening side lanes with the Shen, so that you can utilize Stand United, they TP. Then you have TP advantage. Now they're going mid lane here for Nisqy.
Nisqy in danger as Xmithie shows up. Nisqy gets himself away, but that is going to be ult and ult used by both mid laners.
Jensen feeling very confident on this Akali. Able to exert a lot of pressure here mid. And with Hexdrinker, Nisqy might feel fine. Waiting out the extra cooldown here, but again, Team Liquid, full control of both rivers, so they get to make any rotation they want.
Yeah, exactly. There's no forward vision whatsoever for Cloud9, so they have to be so scared about where these ganks can be coming from. They are the ones threatening this bottom side. You know, yes, they cannot pull off the dive as they see the junglers there, but wow, Svenskeren just went in.
Svenskeren, he's in some danger. Stand United's also going to be coming in, and he's trapped in the Jarvan Cataclysm. CoreJJ looks to make it more, but he won't get anyone.
That's a dream scenario for Team Liquid. They're itching to use that Stand United, so Impact's able to get an extra member on bottom side, and Team Liquid get the kill. Probably going to be paid for by Licorice grabbing some turret plates here for him. Let's see how many he can mine.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to make the call, swap bot top, go for the rift, try to push in and take that from the Vlad, leave the Shen on the bottom side, which I do like. Licorice will get some plates here, but surprised to see Svenskeren, you know, go forward at all on that. They had full vision that this was happening, and this is a fight you opted into.
And again, game plan for Team Liquid. Get as much money on Doublelift as possible. Guess what? 2 kills for the Xayah right now. 97 CS to his name, and if they're able to feed the Rift Herald too, that will go a long way.
CoreJJ trying to go on to Licorice here, but once Svenskeren shows up, Jensen's not able to close that distance and help him out. Cloud9 walks its members away, but Team Liquid takes control over the top side.
Stopping that base was actually really important. There's no one on the bottom side to be answering this Shen right now, so you know Impact is going to get his free time. So not only did they get that kill, he is now kind of evening it up by denying some of these minions and taking a plate of his own here from Cloud9.
Yeah, Licorice still alive, but it's too late. The plate has been taken. Teleport not available for Impact nor the Stand United. So it's actually an advantage on the top side of the map for Cloud9 because Nisqy does have his own teleport, and it could be a reverse of the tables for C9. They don't want the game to enter a lull state while the cooldowns are in their favor. They need to make a move while they have that possibility of turning the numbers in their favor.
Yeah, and we'll see if they try to use this kind of window of time to force around the Rift, because TL didn't actually end up getting an opportunity to take that down. And that is still available here, 12 minutes into the game. If you can take it, there's an opportunity to cash in on those couple plates and really kind of extend this gold lead. And we can see TL already over 2,000 gold ahead with the Ocean there in such a comfortable spot right now.
And the only reason they're not starting up that Rift Herald for Team Liquid is because of the teleport discrepancy. You know, there's incredibly long cooldown on Stand United, so they're waiting for the teleport on Impact to come back up before they start out the objective.
And that window is almost there. Impact just about has that TP. Jensen just reset and got Gunblade. I think this is a pretty good timing here as Impact goes back to base to try to potentially, look to set up around one of those objectives. I think they have the power to try to do it, but it is Xmithie for now heading down to the bottom side to grab this red buff, and we'll see where they go from there.
Still another 40 seconds before that Stand United is up. Level 1 Shen ults, a 300-second cooldown, a little over 3 minutes. But now we're going to see Licorice try to defend against the 2-man assault of CoreJJ and Doublelift. He'll get rid of him, but he uses the ult.
Yeah, I actually really like that. CoreJJ walks melee range to threaten a point-blank ultimate for the immediate charm, so Licorice has to pre-ult to dissuade the dive, but now he's not going to have that for any potential team fight.
Root comes out from Sneaky. He and Zeyzal continue defending here in the mid lane. Not only could the Rift Herald be the choice for one of these teams, but Mountain Drake is now alive on the bottom half of the map. We'll see if either side decides to prioritize that. Xmithie walking his way down the river as Nisqy walks up.
Teleport expended by Cloud9 too. Impact teleports to the bottom half of the map. Pings on Doublelift. Cloud9 have vision of Doublelift in that Rift Herald pit. He just cleared out a ward. Now he's heading down there. They could answer with Licorice's teleport of their own. 2,000 health on the Mountain Drake though. It's falling quickly.
Team Liquid has control over this one. Svenskeren walks up, but he will not walk close enough. And that is Drake number 2 for TL. Topside, Licorice will continue trying to get plates, considering they're losing out on the neutral objectives. But Impact, or Jensen I should say, is now up here to stop him.
Yeah, they do grab that dragon, but a little bit of messiness with the lane assignments there. No one actually top to answer, despite the fact that they had Stand United. You could have actually just TP'd Impact up top to answer that wave and then have the Stand United come down to a potential dragon fight. Instead, it will cost them both TPs, but they are now starting up Shelly here. And first tower is still on the table. Despite the fact that plates are down, this would be great. And you can see Jensen trying to threaten a potential flank if C9 were to commit.
And that's yet another objective that Cloud9 has to yield over without a fight. Team Liquid is continuing to build not just gold advantages, but advantages in terms of momentum. They got more turret plates early on. They're getting the neutral objectives. The early game has been pretty solidly won by TN.
And Team Liquid need to use this Rift Rail to take down some of the defenses for Cloud9. They cannot wait for the Vladimir Aatrox team fight combination to bring together with some extra items for that AoE. You know, there's no telling how many things can go wrong in one of these. Those two champions can annihilate your backline. Every AD carry player knows the dangers of a fed Vladimir. Level 11 now for Licorice. He is one of Cloud9's hope. Even though he doesn't have any kills, none to their side of the map. He has been farming efficiently, and he got several of the turret plates himself.
Remember back in the summer finals, not in the summer finals, excuse me, the spring finals earlier on this year when they had to do their reverse sweep against TSM, Broken Blade on a Vladimir did cause some problems for the side of Team Liquid. They know how to play around this champion, you would think. So we'll see how they're able to deal with Licorice, who is still on 0-0-0 on this champion. But remember what we talked about earlier too, the phase rush. The team fighting power is only magnified that much more. Yes, you don't have the same gold lead you might with a Klepto or something similar, but the phase rush will make him so much more of a threat as we move forward. Checking in on the items, it's one big item completed over on the sneaky Xayah Doublelift. Working on the Rage Blade now, has that Mana Moon stacking towards the Muramon.
And I've got my eyes actually on the extra longsword here for Impact, and I'm very curious where he's going to go with this additional longsword. You know, it is pretty atypical in pro to see multiple damage items. You know, in the LPL at times we do see things like the Triforce Shen, but certainly not common. Could just be executioners into tank.
Svenskeren gets himself away from Team Liquid over the wall. They could have maybe set something up. Jensen's going to be pulled back by the chain, but Nisqy can't find the opportunity to do much more with Xmithie nearby. Rift Herald has about half the timer left.
All right, setting up for it very nicely here. Control wards you can see creeping in. And the Team Liquid vision press on red quadrant of Cloud9's jungle is taking its toll. The threatened roam there, no information for Cloud9, caused Nisqy to back all the way off. That tower is down, and Team Liquid continue to push forward here into the C9 territory.
Yeah, it's really all TL up there. You know, very dark and scary place for C9, so not able to actually go up and respond. And you can see Rift Herald can still be used here. They're going for sneaky.
Oh, look at the damage! Doublelift's got the killing spree, and CoreJJ made it happen.
And this could actually be mid lane turret as well. Now Rift Herald gets dropped. They can even threaten to dive from behind. And Doublelift is hitting them with the taunt.
It's a game of 5, and you get a kill like that. Perfect opportunity to try and kick them while they're down. Rift Herald used as well. They don't have to abandon this Rift Herald either. Shelly gets another charge off. That is going to be significant damage. Team Liquid close in from the red buff too.
Yeah, and you look at the bottom side, it's going to be a free tower for Shen.
They're trying to find some more, but instead they go a little bit deep. Stopwatch keeps Xmithie alive. Zeyzal looking to get himself away. Doublelift behind enemy lines, grabbing the rampage with the killer instinct. As Svenskeren won't find anyone on the back end, and Team Liquid is 5-0.
Yeah, Doublelift now heading up to the top side. No answer there. Cloud9 are kind of just getting run across the map. Minions are dying in both top and bot to their towers. Cloud9 falling very far behind in the gold. You know, down almost 5K. They are going to try to commit to chasing down Doublelift and Xmithie, who may have overstayed their welcome here.
Xmithie has the ultimate, but that's the only disengage tool here for the Zeyzal. Doublelift trying to get himself away. Doesn't have a whole lot to work with. Remember, used the flash to get the kill earlier when they dove deep. CoreJJ showing up trying to help, instead having to dash away to Xmithie, keeping himself alive.
He has ult and flash.
Jensen and Impact coming around from the side. Sneaky has the ult. You've got to be ready for that one. Impact's going to get that out of him, but now they're looking to go even further. Jensen after Sneaky, and they've got the kill. Nisqy's looking to defend himself, but Team Liquid is too damn strong. They'll put a stake through Licorice's heart, and he'll only take CoreJJ.
Cloud9 took down the Taunter in Doublelift, but it just tilts the whole team. Team Liquid comes through, they clean up the rest of them, and they are running away with Game 5.
And you've got to watch the execution of this fight. You know, this was an overstay from Doublelift, so they are committing to this. Cloud9 knows their way behind. It feels a little bit late from CoreJJ, but the critical thing here is really how Jensen plays the fight. He has flash, he has ult, and now watch how he waits on the shuriken flip. They send in another member to force the ult out on the taunt, then he takes the shuriken flip in, following the flash even for Sneaky, and with Sneaky going down, there's never going to be enough damage for Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Sneaky, you have no choice there,
of course,
right?
It's just beautifully executed.
Team Liquid have too many cards to play. Flash burned as well is going to be another cooldown they want back, but Team Liquid have the 4th championship in their eyes now. Cloud9 came so close, but it is quickly slipping away.
This is looking like one of the most one-sided games of the entire series, if not the most. 20 minutes in, 6,000 gold ahead as the bottom lane turret falls, and that will complete the outer ring.
TL certainly in full control, but we've got to take a look at Cloud9 and their ways to potentially come back in this. And that's where I have my eyes on Zeyzal. He had incredible engages previously, but they're just diving.
Talking about incredible engages, Nisqy's out of there, and Doublelift gets the kill credit once more. 5 strong now on this Xayah, and the push is coming around towards the mid lane. Except no, they can go right for the inhib turret.
Yeah, Sneaky is still pushing up on top side, so Cloud9 are just sacrificing an inhibitor 20 minutes into the game without even Baron there.
Now Xmithie comes over the wall. He'll disengage some of them with the ultimate. He's still going to be taken very low. More damage coming out now. Jensen looking to grab the kills. He'll take down Svenskeren. Zeyzal walks away, keeping himself alive with the Alistar ultimate. Licorice going to buy some time with an ulti of his own. Bottom side, the inhib critically still stands.
And this game is just firing across the side of the map here. Bottom was destroyed. Team Liquid came from behind the entire base of Cloud9, picking up an extra kill, and it starts to get a little sloppy with the diving between towers there. But I think after they reset, it is going to be a much clearer plan for Team Liquid. Bottom side, exposed inhibitor here. Baron is up on the opposite side of the map. They're the ones with the Shen. 2 answers for the global here. And now, with Jensen picking up these extra kills, it's a 4-0 Akali that also has access to the teleport. They can easily split up into the 1-3-1, control both sides of the map, and then use that Baron objective to their advantage in drawing out Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, certainly GL sitting in a very good spot. Could have been more clean, though. You know, if you take that inhibitor there, bottom inhibitor with Baron on the map is such a clear path to victory.
All right, back to your point, though, Zhao. You're looking at Zeyzal followed up by that Vladimir and Aatrox combination. That's your dream scenario if you want this comeback for Cloud9. They have to find one of these AoE combinations from Fog of War on high-value targets.
And that's where I also feel like deep wards become so important, but we've seen TL do such a good job of actually closing this out. You know, this is essentially the line of scrimmage right here. They have no wards on the other side of the map whatsoever to set up for that TP flank. So this is kind of the thing that Cloud9 is going to have to remedy, because you can't have Licorice just charging through the whole team back into Doublelift. You have to come from behind.
I almost feel as if Licorice has to explode Jensen and Doublelift at the same time to even have a chance in a fight at this point. I mean, you're down 7,500 gold at 22 minutes. Svenskeren will try to maintain control over his red buff, but Team Liquid is relentless.
Well, let me tell you, luckily for him, Vladimir is a champion that can do that, possibly. Team Liquid burn it down, though. It's only 3,000 health on the Baron and counting.
Oh, Xmithie's low, though. He's got to get out of there.
They're backing away. They don't want to risk any sort of a 50-50 Baron throw here in Game 5 of the Summer Finals. Xmithie will back out, get himself healed up back in the base. Meanwhile, Impact is at the enemy inhibitor, constantly applying that pressure, forcing Nisqy to answer. The power of that Titanic Hydra you described earlier, Kobe, making sure these waves are always pushed.
And in combination with an Executioners, now Executioners applies healing debuff on any physical damage dealt, so that works in conjunction with your Titanic, and it's so good against either split pusher, Vladimir or Aatrox, helping him get much closer to that inhibitor. And I think he's getting a couple of chips off of it too.
Zeyzal trying to disengage from Jensen here. Doesn't pop the ultimate. Recognizes Jensen can't go back in onto him without the ability to CC that Akali down and burst her away. The top side fight not going so well for the side of Cloud9 as their support's going to be forced back. The bottom side fight, Nisqy's not able to get rid of Impact anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, Impact pushed him back to base and started working away on that head. You know, and yeah, Shen kills it slowly, but you give him enough time there, and he is going to be wearing
eventually.
I mean, he's got 2 mountains and an ocean drake. Perfect split pushing dragons there. Here we go.
Fight starting off. CoreJJ goes in, able to find a little bit of CC onto a couple of different targets. Stand United also going to be cast onto Doublelift now. Svenskeren taken down. Doublelift's got the first kill of the fight. It's 1-0 Team Liquid. C9 can't find anything in retaliation. Doublelift still looking to go even further in. CoreJJ forces out a flash.
Licorice over the wall!
The wall comes Licorice, but he's not going to get a lot just yet. He tries to go after Doublelift, and he's got the shutdown. But Cloud9 are too far behind.
Cloud9, though, at least they stave them off there. They get 1 critical kill. Sneaky and Nisqy still are alive. And without Doublelift, you can't do that Baron, so they do stay alive for now.
I was talking about the Vladimir on the backline on 80 carries. Doublelift, while he's dead here, he just bought a no magic mantle after getting 100%ed by this Vladimir. Here's a look at how it happened. This was the initial move. He ults in to try and start this out. Shen ultimate as well following it. Jensen jumping over the wall.
Yeah, and one of the problems with Jensen in this fight was he had to use all his ult charges defensively there, trying to escape. So, you know, they do decide to re-engage, but then Licorice, seeing they're grouping up over the wall, finds a good angle to get over, lands the full combo there on Doublelift, and just look at him pop.
Meanwhile, the rest of Team Liquid are able to take down Cloud9, getting the advantage in that team fight, picking up another Mountain Drake for themselves. You leave that Baron alone for 3 seconds and it gets burned down.
Any mistakes in positioning across the map are so heavily punished with Triple Mountain. Whether it's Baron, whether it be those inhibitor turrets, inhibitors themselves, everything feels bad when you have to deal with that sort of objective push potential, and it feels even worse when you're 8,000 gold behind. Warmog's up and running on Impact means he's just going to regenerate all day long unless you burst him 100-0, and the last time I checked my facts, that's not happening.
Yeah, there's just no way you're going to knock the Shen down that fast, so he's going to keep pushing. You know, they want to force plays non-stop around this Baron. You know, it is going to have to be Licorice answering him now. Nisqy is without the teleport. Impact still has the teleport, and they're going to engage.
CoreJJ is going in, and he's found his way onto Sneaky, who has to flash over the wall. Nisqy now looking to find the fight onto Jensen, who's doing a good job dancing around in the smoke. Licorice going into the back line. Doublelift's in some trouble, but Licorice is gone. Svenskeren will now try to escape, but the DPS is there, and Doublelift's got a double kill.
And TL, they're going to get the Baron off of this one, straight to the pit. We'll see if Cloud9 try to make a stand, because 9,000 down, I don't know if you can afford to give this up.
Can you even try to fight, though? 3 versus 5 against the likes of the champions on the Team Liquid roster. C9 will try, C9 will die, and Team Liquid destroy them!
That's going to be it. Team Liquid will claim the Baron. Every member on Cloud9 in the death chambers, and they can celebrate.
It was a low percentage play there for Cloud9, but you had, it felt like, to try something. TL has taken full control of this game, and here it is one more time. They look for the engage. Svenskeren spotted out. CoreJJ says, hey, we can just go in for this. Charm from Svenskeren straight over to Sneaky. The engage was very, very good, and Jensen buying so much time. Notice him dodging a lot of these abilities.
Oh, and do you see Impact perfectly timing that taunt on the teleport of Licorice? That is something that is hard to do. He gets the Vladimir and taunt immediately upon arrival, and they peel Doublelift this time. There's no one shot on the back line, then there's no hope for C9. This time around, it's a 5v3.
Yeah, I mean, this is desperation from Cloud9, but they feel like the game is over if they give up the Baron, so they're gonna make the Hail Mary play for it, and Svenskeren knows it is going to be a mountain to climb if they are going to come back in this one. But TL now, Baron buff up, 3 lanes being pushed. They are poised to claim their 4th straight title and the crown of best team in North American history.
Svenskeren said it himself. If Team Liquid get 4 in a row, you can't contest that they are the best LCS team of all time. Now they're at the doors looking for that title. Licorice trying to fend off impact on the bottom side. Everywhere else falling quickly.
This is the Alamo for Cloud9. Outnumbered, outgunned. There's no way out of a situation like this, barring some kind of miracle. 13,000 gold, shy of 30 minutes in. Everybody from Team Liquid having the Baron buff. Impact's already putting the auto attacks into the bottom lane inhibitor. Minions helping out on that one, speeding up that slow process, while the rest of TL sieges the other lane.
Zeyzal does have his flash, but the Banshee's Veil is now complete for Doublelift, which makes it even harder to get in onto him. So he's gonna have to try to find some sort of angle, maybe sneaking and poke off that Banshee's Veil, and then they can look for an engage. But the longer you sit back, the more these Baroned up minions are going to chip away at your base. You can see the Nexus turrets were even under fire from those cannons.
Also, Licorice there, they have to have him in place to take down the high-value members of Team Liquid, but he's the one trying to hold Impact right now, so there's not going to be that surprise factor, the flank coming through. They're tied down with defense, and the minions continue to swarm.
Let's see if they can break this top lane along with it. Cloud9 trying to frantically put everybody in the right spot at the right time, but there's just not enough bodies to assign to all these things on fire. The mid lane turret will fall. Mid lane inhibitor is gone now as well. Top side, it's 1 inhibitor turret remaining.
Licorice completes the death cap just now. I think this is going to be the call to go for it here. You cannot afford to just give this up.
This should be the last fight of the game. Cloud9 positioning, but it's Team Liquid who destroys Sneaky, and Cloud9 are on the wrong end of the fight. Licorice still stands, but everyone else has fallen. A triple kill for Jensen, and Cloud9 are on to the Nexus turrets. They are the only team to lift the trophy back to back to back to back, and they are the best team North America has ever produced.
11-0-5 for Jensen. Incredible in the game 5 here for Team Liquid.
Doublelift said competition is the only thing that still drives him. And you can see the excitement on their faces. Never gets old, 4 times in a row.
Cloud9 made him work for it. Down to the wire here, game 5. But it was the smallest differences between these two teams. Team Liquid so poised. I think their adaptations in these final games were so important, and deservingly so, they go to hoist the trophy.
When the final game looks the most convincing of the entire series, you know they were able to make those changes correctly. You know this is the team that deserves to hold that trophy high.
In spring, it was Jensen to first hoist it. In summer, it is the team together. 5 men standing on that stage, hoisting it up high.
This team was put together to be the best. This team was put together with incredible expectations for them to win. And time and again, they are winning.
I mean, literally since the formation of this team, all victories. Since its inception, they have ruled the LCS. 2 straight years now.
You heard it from Svenskeren. Previously, the record was held by both Liquid and TSM, tied at 3 in a row. Now with Liquid being what could be the only team to ever get 4 in a row. That's 2 years of investment to be able to even have a chance. And Team Liquid did it here today.
Coaching staff and the rest of the owners now joining them on the stage for another hoist of that trophy.
It's not just the 5 guys playing on stage, it's everybody behind them, the entirety of the support and coaching staff, everybody at Team Liquid making this a reality for these players, for this team, for this organization. This is the moment it was all built for.
Really is so many years of success, of domination, now standing on that stage. Doublelift, the most championships in NA history. Xmithie now passing Bjergsen as well, number 2 on that list.
To hear more now about their historic win, we're going to send things down to Avali and the owner of the triumphant Team Liquid.
Get out of here, Doublelift. We're trying to talk with Steve. Steve, congratulations. Team Liquid pulling off the 4-peat, the first team in LCS history to ever have done that. The players have got to be feeling great. But as an owner, what does it mean to you?
I mean, it feels incredible, but honestly, this is an accomplishment that is comprised of the players, the staff, the analysts, like all putting in hard work. I mean, to go from 2017, right, and just say like, hey, this 4th place meme, right, and then to achieve a 4th place, 4 championships in a row, it's like we're creating a Liquid legacy, and that's just awesome. Feels really, really good.
4 just happens to be Team Liquid's lucky number, but I want to ask you, Team Liquid has cemented themselves with their overwhelming domestic success, that they are just the best team in North America. But for you, is that enough, or will you not be satisfied until you find that international success?
I think when we started this off 2 years ago, it was, okay, let's win an LCS title. And we accomplished that. And then we did that now 4 times after that. Finishing in the finals at MSI, beating the previous world champions, it's kind of a taste of what could come. So for us, we want a world championship, and that's what we're after.
And is this the split for that to happen?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Steve, thank you, and congratulations again. We're going to head back to the casters.
You love hearing that sort of confidence in the team and the organization coming out from the owner. Steve knows what these guys are accomplishing right now.
It always gets me so hyped for international competition.
Oh, yeah.
See them on the big stage, getting excited about the victories, the hard work they are willing to put in. These are guys that are no stranger to the international stage either. They have all been working towards this.
Yeah, I mean, not only did Liquid get the MSI finals here, Xmithie did with CLG back in the past, so these guys have had a lot of international experience under their belts. Jensen with C9 last year, world semifinals, and it has been on the up and up for North America. Now we have our top 2 teams, Liquid number 1, C9 number 2, going into that international tournament. And it's so exciting as a North American fan.
Absolutely, especially when the teams are close like this. They take each other to 5 games. They show the ability to adapt between those. And what you hope that means is that both of these teams are ready to just come out swinging here in a month when World starts up.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited for both representatives.
Of course, we'll still have the gauntlet to go through to find out who's going to join them. 4 other teams will be competing in that, but still a ways to go till then. Right now, the name of the game is just all about TL and their victory, and I still have to give the credit to Cloud9 for putting the fight up that they did. Really well done, making this be a 5-game brawl.
Yeah, certainly so. And I mean, they fall just short, but this is their first year with Nisqy, and I think that you can see this team has made, massive improvements, leaps and bounds since spring all the way to here, making it to the finals, becoming just that close to being able to take it down. And the sky's the limit for these guys.
Yeah, we saw plenty of games throughout this series. The first 4 were really big pop-off performances, like back and forth from the different sides. The 5th, the most one-sided of all of them. Nisqy himself in that second game on the Irelia, popping off, solo killing Jensen. But Team Liquid just being the team that had so much talent, they could not be overcome.
Yeah, definitely an incredible performance. Doublelift and Jensen combining for 21 of 24 kills for their team in that final game. And that is just insane as TL there posing for more pictures. The 4-peat, that's what they're holding out.
And those stats really do kind of re-emphasize how we classify Team Liquid. They're a team that know their style extremely well, and it's in these very clearly set out guidelines for the roles of each of the players. Yes, some people, criticize them for the lack of flexibility on stage, but they're so confident in this style of winning with Jensen and Doublelift, the clear carries, and all the rest of the members doing the work to set them up to have that crazy, control of all the kills for the team.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is their kind of classical style here in Game 5, but we've gotten to see, a lot of different versions of them. Impact and MSI playing exclusively carries when they got to the finals. Even here today in Game 1, pop-out performance on the Aatrox, helping to carry that game. So TL certainly looking good.
Well, we've talked plenty about it, but now for more from the winning team themselves, let's hear from the victorious top laner and jungler.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Impact and Xmithie. Guys, congratulations. Full 5-game series against Cloud9. Impact, I just want to get your first thoughts coming out of that game.
It's so hard to game. We're going to, what is good 5 game looks like it in final, but it's hard game.
All right, and I want to talk about you and almost your growth, because it seemed that this was your split. After MSI, you had moved off tanks and you had proven yourself as a capable carry and started carrying Team Liquid. So what I want to ask you is, what do you think of your growth over the split as well as your performance?
I think I'm doing pretty good, and also I just focused that not sacrifice too much. I'm just focused on my lane page first, and after I can sacrifice. So focus my lane first, and after I can pressure or I can help my teammate. And last game is I'm playing Shen, so I'm sacrificing my teammate, but I'm in lane, so I can help everyone.
I see you laughing as he says that he sacrificed his teammate.
I think he meant he sacrificed himself.
Sacrificed himself for the teammate. I like that. Selfless. But so with this, you've proven yourself as a capable tank. You've proven yourself as a carry. You've shown that you have an incredibly diverse and flexible champion pool. When are you going to call yourself the #1 top laner in North America?
I'm not sure about that because I'm died to Licorice one time. He's doing pretty good, but I think I can say I'm #1 to team player, but I'm not sure about that. I can say #1 top laner, but I'm confident.
Like the confidence. Xmithie, I want to come to you. Again, a really close series against Cloud9, but it seems like there's always a battle between you and Svenskeren for that top jungler position. So is he a player that you compare yourself or maybe measure yourself against?
Well, I don't really measure myself to anyone specifically. I think every jungler, even in any LCS, is really good in their own aspect. Sven has been on a roll this split specifically. That's why he got MVP. So I respect him a lot.
Well, I want to talk you up. I want to talk up the play that you pull off today. This is your 6th championship title win and your 4th in a row. So can you now say that you are better than Svenskeren?
We're talking about titles, sure, yeah.
Talking about titles. All right, we got the 2 humble and modest boys over here. But guys, once again, congratulations on the win. And for more, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Arvely. We'll hear from the rest of the team shortly, so stay tuned for that. But this 5th and final game, Team Liquid cemented themselves as the best LCS team in history. And if you're going to do it, that's the kind of Game 5 that you want to put up to make the statement.
So dominating. They both carries popping off, and then the supporting crew around them doing exactly what they were meant to do when the roster was built. Make sure that the carries have an outstanding game. I love the Shen pick as well. And as a result, everything seemed to click on the fifth and final game. What better time do you want to see it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anyone who brings out his pocket picks and has out of nowhere more success in them than Impact. I mean, in Worlds, he's playing Singed out of nowhere, and here he's busting out the Shen, which no one's really playing right now. Like, it's so great to watch him be able to have that kind of flexibility. He'll play meta all series long, all split long, and then out of nowhere, there's that one pocket pick.
Yeah, and I actually thought this draft was slightly C9 favored based on how the series was going, but then TL just played so well. That's why the game is not decided in Champion Select. The solo kill there by Jensen, another solo kill on Akali this time doesn't get turned around because of the Shen. And even when Doublelift was 4-0 and finally about to get shut down, the rest of TL can come in and help clean up the pieces.
I feel like C9 was chasing Doublelift after that taunt in the mid lane because that was just following up that play. And then the rest of TL was like, you know what? We are going to avenge our boy.
Great taunt there by Impact to set the ult on Nisqy off so Jensen can take his E and follow up for the kill. Like, this was one of those games where everyone was grooving on Team Liquid. They got that solo kill in the mid lane from Doublelift onto Nisqy, which is why he was doing the emote spam.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we said before the game, the experience of Doublelift and Team Liquid in these Game 5s. And I think it really showed here. They also started making more of their own aggressive plays, where CoreJJ would be the one to go in first.
This may be the best look for Cloud9 here in an attempt to get it back, already down near 8k gold around the Baron, staring a couple Mountain Dragons in the face. So taking the opportunities as they saw them, but it wasn't enough.
Engage was sick.
Impact was so good here.
Yeah, and then he got the E follow as well from the Rakan to get this instant double taunt knock-up. It was so sick.
Yeah, specifically like that because everyone knew Licorice was going to be coming from base, waiting for that team fight. C9 was kind of prepped, and in that half second before he arrived, TL won the fight by insta-killing Nisqy. And this was the final push.
And this is the thing, right? 4 in a row for Team Liquid. Some of them more dominant than others, right? We've got the 3-0 finals, we've got the 5-game finals, but the consistency now with which they perform at the highest level and in the highest moments of pressure is what really needs to be respected when you look at this squad.
Yeah, the fact that they were also at Game 5 against Clutch, Game 5 in Spring, Game 5 here, it really seems like it's the fact that this team knows exactly what it takes to win in a reverse sweep fashion or whatever it might be, and when the most pressure is on, is the advantage they have over everybody else.
And I love how much the tease was true in this one, right? We got to see the Jensen-Nisqy rivalry go back and forth, kind of both of them proving themselves to each other. And then we also got to see Doublelift say, I hope C9 makes it fun.
Yeah.
Right? C9 did make it fun.
I think every single piece of that happened. I'm excited for the continuance of that mid lane rivalry between the two because I think Nisqy did have his moments while Jensen ultimately